welcome to another episode of About Her. I'm really excited to have Drishti with me today. Thank you so much for joining. I'm really excited for our conversation, and I would love to start with you sharing a bit about you, because we have talked off camera and you have such a beautiful wealth of knowledge. And yeah, I would love to start with you sharing about your journey.
I think first of all, thank you for having me here. And I just loved how you said Drishti because it sounds very different from the what we hear in India. It's actually Drishti, but the way you said it's actually kind of different, maybe because of the pronunciation and all.
Yes.
Perfect. So yes, hi, my name is Drishti. I am from Raipur, Chhattisgarh, India. And in our culture, we have seen, that how women have been repressed, suppressed a lot. And I used to feel this hatred for a long period of time. I used to feel that women, I should not, I was like, I don't want to get married because I feel like it's stupidity what your women are going through. But then I hit a bottom. I hit a space where I feel like that my life is nothing. I don't want to live anymore. I want to, if it feel like nothing, because of garbage in my own life. Then, if you know, we have called Lord Krishna, the Scon, came in my life out of nowhere. Like I was just traveling here and there and wondering if what to do with my life. Why do I have the one life? And I went to Scon, and that's, I think, the first step in my healing journey, because we talk about healing journey a lot, but we forget that when in our healing journey we need support who hold us while we are healing, while we are broken down, we are broken. So for me in my journey, I would say it was Lord Krishna. I always refer him as my best friend, that he is the one who literally supported me in my journey, and then things start changing for me. The people I used to be with, they left me. I start seeing that the friendships you own a lot, you feel they're your own people, but the time comes they will leave you, and it will, or you will always go doubting yourself. It was my mistake. I was wrong. That's why they left me. But thing is that people who love you will always stay no matter what. So I started realizing that. But I think I had a lot of emotional baggage I was carrying with myself because of all the past. Then Reiki came in my life out of nowhere, like from Instagram post I saw, and I started doing it for my own self. And then I can see the shift in me. Then came a tarot card reading, like you pull the cards, a spiritual technique, a spiritual tool that you go through to see what the universe is guiding you, what the God is guiding you through those cards. And I start learning those things. And I won't say that things happen very easily for me, but it was like a puzzle thing. As slowly a puzzle was being coming into my life. I was holding it, I was learning what exactly it is, where it can be. And then life coaching came in, mindset, what it is. And going deeper and deeper, I realized that how much trauma our body is carrying, like in the form of somatics, and why we had a lot of physical pain, why we are having a lot of disease nowadays. I start realizing, I start learning about this. I went in my own depth to understand what kind of trauma I'm carrying till now. The abandonment issues. One of the things that we feel that we are not being loved is the abandonment issues. We have to go deep, understand them. What are we on carrying on self? And all of this made me realize that, what, we all want love. We all want to be loved. But because of our own trauma, our own past experience that we have gone through, that stop us to be felt love. If someone wants to love us, the fear will come in. Then what if they will leave again? And
Mm-hmm.
then I realized that as a woman, we are always told that if you want love, you have to give, give, give. Then only a man will give you some amount of love, a small amount of love. But then I realized that no, I have into so much spirituality. Like from the day I went to temple and connect with Lord Krishna, I knew that no, God loves you because it's you. He or she will not ask you to, you have to do this and only I will love you. And that's the real known for love. That's what love is. So I realized that love is the most beautiful thing, but then human have designed in such a way that if you want love, you have to give something, then only will receive love. But that's not the case in the spiritual love. God always loves you. You do nothing. He will always have you. He will support you. And I think that's the biggest thing I want to work on, that have love, and love does not needs to have. You have to give, or you have to change yourself. Women are
Mhm.
asked a lot that you have to change yourself, then only a man will love you.
Yes, that's a really. I thank you so much for bringing that up, because it's the same here in Europe too. There's a lot of programming or learning through your parents maybe or society to be a certain way as a woman,
Right.
behave a certain way, be the good girl, like really give, like you
So
say,
true.
or be quiet or be supportive of the man. But then, like, the question of, like, okay, and who is supporting me? Am I only loved if I'm doing all these things? Am I
Yeah.
worthy? So these things, I feel like they're really spread out all over the world, from all the women I work with from different parts of the world. They're all kind of sharing the same. And I think it's
Hmm.
really necessary to talk about that more, and to, like you said, you found your path to remind yourself, to be reminded that no, we don't have to do anything. We can be
Yeah.
loved. We are worthy of love unconditionally, without doing anything, without looking a certain way, without behaving a certain way. It's just by
True.
being here we are worthy of receiving all the love, and having the expression to, or the freedom of expressing ourselves the way we want, and not be, put in a box that might not look nice.
Right. So true. Like, I think because of this, one thing that women have stopped taking care of themselves. Like, they will have so much health issues, but they still be working, because they feel like rest is not good for me. And if I will rest, people will think I'm lazy or something. And even though they are going through a lot of deep pain, but they still will keep working on.
Yes. Isn't it amazing that, like, there's this almost, I feel there's a big shadow side. It's like coming in the form of selfishness, how we are taught to say, like, you need to, like, care first for others, and then if there's a bit of time left, you can care for yourself. It sounds like it's a really selfish thing to care for others first,
Mm,
as you say, to our own exhaustion. But actually,
right.
how are you feeling inside? Can you really give unconditional love and show up for others fully? If you are feeling unwell with yourself, if you do have pain, if you do have, like you touched on, traumas we all have that we are not even conscious of, that are both in the mind and in the body, and we hold all that, and we think, like, give is kind of getting us to the point where we are loved, where we will feel whole, where we'll feel complete. But of course it's not happening, because we need to give that to ourselves, and we need to change
Right.
the paradigm to say, like, we are worthy enough to not do anything and still be loved. We are safe to rest, safe to care for
Mm,
ourselves, and that's nothing bad. On the contrary,
true. I think rest is important. Like, even machines have a service time. But why don't humans have that?
we need to have a service time for ourselves. Yeah.
True.
Yes. And I think, like, we touched on that last week, where we talked about, like, the different cycles we have
Yeah.
as compared to as men, and the society we live
Right.
in, mostly
Right.
dominated by the patriarchal way of doing things. Not to say it's bad, but
Right.
it's like one side. And, like, how can we integrate, our longer cycles that are, like, similar to the moon cycles, that have more ups and
Mm,
more visible? How can we integrate that into a life that is, like, going like this, very clear, very structured, very machine like?
mm,
Where are we having a space for that?
right. As I told you, we have said in spiritual path, we say that men are more like sun. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they will come at a specific time and they will go at a specific time, and then they will have a rest. And they have enough rest. But then when we talk about a female body, her body is like a moon. It has its own cycle, it has its own season. Some days it's full, some days it's new, some days it's almost nothing. But it's in her own way. And because it's how she's made, how she is been made. No, I have heard it somewhere that when, like, we have a four different seasons: spring, autumn, summer, winter, a woman go through all the season in a 1 month. Like we have 28-day cycle, right? In 28-day cycles, our body experience all kind of seasons.
Yeah.
So making, growing, living, everything. So that means that a body is literally changing every day. It's like a fluctuation. So when our you firstly we have to become aware of our periods, like when it's coming, when they are arriving, what's the date. We normally it's the ideal date is 28 days, but you have to see what cycle you are following. Like it's 30, and then if you have PCOD or something, any around this disease, you have to see that notice that okay, what I have. You have to notice our period cycle, and then notice that in that part we have divided cycle into 4 parts. The first part is a period cycle where you are flowing your period flow is having you are having the flow. The second part is where your body is preparing again to become a pregnant. Like the menstrual cycle part is because of pregnancy only, because you have to become a pregnant. Your body is preparing it for every month. So then the second part is when your body start preparing yourself to be pregnant. Then that time you will notice after your period still almost 14 days, you will be the most active person. You will be like you want to be everywhere, you want to be social person, you want to meet everyone, you want to do every work, you are in the high rate, like you want to do everything. But then after 16 days, yours from 16 to your period cycle, this your days, your body again is feeling like you're not getting about to get pregnant. It's in a low phase because your body literally prepared it to be pregnant, but then it's like your body is making have a grief time. That now it's feeling sad because you don't get the pregnant. The pregnancy time about the highest, the best time to get pregnant is like from 12 to 15 days of our cycle. That's the highest peak of being getting pregnant. So if in that time the pregnancy did not happen, it will not happen until next month. So now your body is in grief. So you will feel more of irritated, hating. You don't want to talk to anyone. You are like, oh, please don't talk to me. That kind of person you will be. So you will be more of in a self-reflection mode. All your fears will come out. All your things that demand you to have your attention will come out. More about yourself. You will see a lot of change in your body. You will feel you will hate your body at some point. Like, oh, you know what? I hate my body. I have put on so much weight. I have so much thing. Or it's like it sometimes it can be unnecessary. If why I'm having this thoughts, it's unnecessary. Then again a period will start. So now the best thing you can do is that understand your cycle, that what cycle you have, and notice your behavior. Like for me, it's like if my periods are about to come, like a week prior, I will be like, please don't talk to me. I want to be alone. I want to my own time. And the time is like a 1 week prior to my periods is more about I will go in my self-reflection work. All my fears will come up. I will be in a deep healing because my body is about to release. So I know she is telling me what I have to release. Because now I have worked a lot on my body, on my brain. So my body has own way of releasing. So periods are one of the best way to release what doesn't serve you. Put the intention in your body that what doesn't serve in my body, all the fears, doubt, I'm allowing them to release through it, through my periods, and that they will release. So now notice this how and one thing, the best thing you can do is that before your periods are coming, like a 1 week 3-4 days prior to your periods, slow down. Start slowing down things. Like if things don't require your attention at that moment, it's not important, leave it. You can schedule it like that according to your cycle, that how what thing you best you do. Like if you have to do some creative work, do it after just your periods till the 14-15 days, because that time your creativity will be high. You will be thinking in the best way. So you can see in how you can work things accordingly. If you need to have some meetings, have some attention is required, plan it accordingly where you are giving it in your periods capacity. This will help you.
Yes. Yes, I agree. And I imagine if we can build our lives the way that even in corporate jobs, even if you are an employee, you can build your life around your cycle. that is so powerful to like for you to get in tune with what your body needs in that moment, but also for, like you said, your creativity. Because if we allow ourselves this like rest phase and this phase of slowing down before and during the period, we have much more energy afterwards to be,
Right.
to really do what we want to do, to be active. But then again, we need to honor the grieving time and the downtime. And that's not bad because we're not productive. I think that's a big one that we need to like let go of and release. And I totally agree. The time of the period, so many women are like dreading that, oh my God, again, this time in the month. But on the same time, what you just said, I love that you pointed out that it's time for release, that we can really see it as a gift to say like, okay, what do I want to let go of? What is no longer serving me? What beliefs can I really let go?
Hmm.
How can I honor my body so that next time, I notice for myself, the more I'm in tune with my body and the more I've kind of like, worked through some issues, through some trauma, my period is getting lighter. It's not that
Hmm.
dreadful event, but it's like
Right.
there is a more, it can be a more joyful experience. We can connect to our body. We can honor that rest cycle and say like, oh, amazing. It's time to rest. It's time to journal. It's time to slow down. And afterwards, there's lots of energy and we can create again. Yeah.
True. I think women have started hating their cycles. When I was
Mm-hmm.
at the same stage, why we need to have periods? It's
Mm-hmm.
done. I don't want it. But then you will notice we have a lot of period pain as well. And this is the reason that because our body is telling we're hating our body so much, we are hating our cycle, and it's like a not reverse cycle. Now it's telling us, you hate me, now let me tell you, I hate you. So when you change your behavior, when you change your relationship with your body, you allow yourself to rest, it literally shifts. The period pain will go away. You will enjoy having periods because it feel like it's a rest day. It's a watch the movie time. Like for me, it's like if I'm on my periods, I am going to watch back to back movies. So for me, it's a rest day where I'm not doing anything. I'm only relaxing and watching movies, having whatever I want to eat.
I think it's really interesting because, like, if you think of almost any religion, they have this like cycle of creation. For example, I've been raised Catholic, so there was like this, seventh day where God rested after his creation. We do have that with the Sabbath as well, is like this rest time is necessary. Like every religion kind of tells you that in their own way, that we need to rest, and our bodies are built that way too. Men, like you say, they were like the sun, they rest at a
Hmm.
different time, but we women, we need to also honor our rest cycle. And like you said, we can enjoy that time where we really said like, it's the time where I get to do something for myself. And if doing something is mean I'm doing nothing, that's really fine. That's really what I
So
need to do so that I can show up afterwards. And what I would love to know from you is like, have you, because like, here's the kind of, I don't know why, but doctors do prescribe the pill really, really, really early. We can go into theory about that, but it's like still the case. And so many women are having this period cycle that is kind of mechanical again, that is predictable, that is not ruled by their own body, but that is ruled by chemical.
hmm.
And I feel it's getting us off tune on our body and out of alignment on a different level than when we just don't honor it and push through and work because it's inside. I felt like totally disconnected and I didn't even knew it. And only when I stopped taking the pill, and I've heard that from so many other women in my life, they're like awakening to a new self. So yeah, I would love to know like if that's something that you've experienced too within your world, that there's like kind of different shifts with being attuned in the body when like having a natural rhythm or not.
Yeah, I think I have heard a lot about this, but I haven't done it by my own self because my cycle was always in a good state, like 28-day cycle. I'm so blessed in this way.
Yes,
But
good.
but then I've heard about this and how women go through a lot of delay in periods, so that's why they consume a lot of medicines. But one thing I know is that medicines have only small effect, like for a limited time. Again, you have to keep on eating, then only you can see the results of it. But then they are harming your body. If they harm you in a way because you feel numb in your own body, like the antidepressant medicines or everything, what they are doing, they're not doing only to suppress it, all the emotions you are feeling that anytime. So I think that when you connect really with your body, like we are so much filled with stress, tension, so much that we have got disconnected with our own body. So now when you go to connect with your body in a real way, like I have faced stress a lot in my body because I was like I was like a hyper independent woman. I can do it all by my own self. I was such kind of a person. And to be such person, you have to know that you have a lot of stress in your body because you are doing everything by your own self. And you don't have to. It's like if you are doing everything by yourself, then only you are good or worthy. That's what you're attached it. But then you detach the connection. We're like, oh, you know what? I don't need to do anything by my own self. And then when I start leaving all these things that I don't need to do anything by my own self, and when I connected to my body, it's beautiful. Oh God, it's I can sense it how your cells literally listen to you. Your every part of your body, you can sense that where what you have stored. You can sense it in your body. What are you feeling? And that feeling is like, oh, it's more like orgasm, I would say. Your body is listening to you. You can feel it how connecting you are feeling it, like an emotional connection you are building with your body. So I think you have to try that. You try that, how you can connect with your body in a natural way.
Yes, yes, I so agree. And I feel like we haven't, even though there's so much research now on the subconscious and on letting our body lead the way, the somatics are like really big within the last decade, which is, thank God, it's really beautiful. But I feel we
True.
still often haven't grasped how much power we have with the way we think and feel, and what it does to our body if we are disconnected from it, or if we push through all the time, if we don't honor the needs of the body. Like you said, it's kind of the body will mirror that back to you at some point. Maybe there is a bit of a
Correct.
resilient time for sure. The body is an amazing thing, but then at some point it was like, okay, no more of this. I'm shutting down pieces. And the moment we reverse that and say like, okay, what do you need? And really feed our mind with empowering information and with caring for ourselves and listening to what our body wants to say or what traumas are coming up. And we kind of it's almost like the cheering. You can feel it from every cell that
Right.
says, thank you. Now you finally, finally in tune. You're finally hearing me. And I feel like there's still so much work to do, because a lot of us have, not only women, but also men, have this negative self-talk that is destroying so much more within ourselves than we can imagine, because it's a constant, your body's listening to you all the time. And if you're constantly
Right.
reaffirming, oh, I'm so stupid, I've forgotten that, or whatever it is,
True.
that is like us shutting ourselves down to an enormous
Right.
extent.
Right. So true. I think one thing I felt in this work is that your society have asked us to be in a certain way. Like men can't express emotions, and then women don't can't show their anger. Men can't show can't cry, and because some emotions are being suppressed, it's creating a lot of haywire in our body, and disconnection is there. And thing is that people are benefiting from your trauma. Like if they want you to show your worth, they will ask you to work a lot, and you have to prove yourself. You will work a lot.
Mhm.
So they don't want you to connect with your own self.
No, no. I feel like that how society is built, how capitalism is built, is basically on us not relying on our body, on us not caring for ourselves. Because if we all would, then things wouldn't work the way they are working right now. We needed to set up things a whole different, which is kind of like an outlook that I would love to see happening. But the moment we reconnect to ourselves, that is the biggest power that we have. And so that is something that society is definitely not encouraging, because we would work differently. We would show up differently. Like you say, the moment we realize, I don't have to do everything myself. When I realized, my hyper self-dependence is kind of a trauma response, that was a big moment, because I'm worthy if I don't do everything. Amazing. It took time to really embody
True.
that it's it's leading you to a different life out of this predictable system that everything here is built around. The changes, I think, are only beneficial because everything is rippling out. But for those who structure and those who plan and those who want to like harvest what other people work for, it's maybe not a thing that they desire to have. But for the individual and for the health of the collective, it's very necessary that we care for ourselves. And it's the least selfish thing that you could do, is to like really be in tune with yourself, because you are a better mother, wife, friend, partner, worker when you are in alignment, when you are like really good to yourself.
And I think one thing the best workout for is a feminine power, like
Mm.
relaxing your own energy, the feminine energy. That you know what, if you start resting more, you will see you're more efficient. You work more, you get more money. Even though, like the world has asked us to see everything externally, and how you are, how much you're earning. But when you go internal and see what's actually inside you, you will see a huge shift in the external as well.
Yes, I feel like the process of going inwards is the biggest source of everything we can imagine. And for that reason, we are drawing then in whatever we want. Might be money, might be love, might be inner peace, whatever it is, or in best case, everything. But we have been raised in a society that says, like, if you want success, you need hard work. If you want love, you need to be a certain way. You always try to mold yourselves into a form that you're not, taking on a mask that you are not, instead of saying, like, here I am, I'm caring for myself unapologetically, and therefore the things that I desire come to me because whatever I desire is ready for me. That's why I desire it. So it's a whole different approach,
Right.
like creating from the inside instead of like the external um, pressure that you mentioned.
Yeah, it's so true.
It's interesting, isn't it, that there are so many similarities, even though we live quite a big distance apart. The underlying structures are very much the same of how we
Yeah.
are told to operate and how we are told to live our lives. There's a lot of
Yeah.
things in common.
Yeah, but you know what? What I've seen in series of what how Europe look like, especially Paris, I used to feel it would be more of different, like how it can be more of equality or more of beautiful space. Where I've heard how people in Paris love the having the art of doing nothing. The common thing as came from the Europe only. I used to think that there would be a lot of easy time where you don't have to do a lot of work, because that's what we have seen in series also. But then when I am talking to you, I'm realizing this it's almost same. The people across the world are the same. They want the woman to only work, but again, it's more of a societal thing that's coming from a long back.
Yes. Yes, and I think we see that so often, like for example with France or with Italy, like there is this way of living that seems so relaxed, but if you are there, I have
Yeah.
been to Paris many times. Yes, there is beauty, but it's not more relaxed, but it's like more intense work. The structures are
Okay.
really tight, and then afterwards you relax really, really hard. It's like hard play, hard work. So there's much
Okay.
more intensity and much more structure. And it's interesting because it looks really different. When you look at it from the outside, you think like maybe there's another way. And it looks like that, but it most times is not. And I think it's really interesting that we're kind of sold the idea that in different parts of the world it's different. But if you really are there experiencing it, it's not so much different. There might be structures in place that are kind of looking different, but the pressure is the same, or the underlying issues are the same. And
Hmm.
I feel there's a lot that we can shift if we get back into our own alignment and like don't look for validation from outside structures or fitting in, but like really going and say like, okay, that's how I feel I need to do it. I don't need your advice. I'm like trusting my own intuition. I'm trusting my own cycle. I'm trusting my own way of being.
Right. So true. I think it's the idea that people have created that you know what our country is better because we are doing this. And in India we have this culture, you know, of working a long hours that never suited me. And I think as a human, it doesn't for us. It's not for us to sit long hours in the same space. We are
Yes.
meant to be move. And the movement is the basic need of our body. We can know about somatics and know how powerful they are. It's nothing but it's about keeping moving our body slowly because
Mhm.
that's what our body is meant to be. But
Yes.
because we are sitting for long hours and our body is affecting, we are having weight gain, we are having a lot of digestion issues, and so much.
It's like we kind of, it's like an unhuman behavior that is normal for us, isn't it? Like the long hours sitting. And then if you have the motivation, people make it up with hard workouts or going to parties or so to move their bodies in a hard way so that they kind of like
True.
make up for the time that we spend restless, only the fingers working in our jobs and not honoring what you said, like the basic needs of the body. My husband always said like the body is made for walking, and that's what we do the least. We sit in our
Right.
cars, we sit on our bicycles, we sit in our like chairs, and then we lay down to like rest. Where's the long movement, the like really walking, the gaze out in
True.
nature, the connection to our body, the calming of the system? It's
Right.
kind of all lost. So we need to rediscover what we are built for, actually.
True. I think that's actually very important because I have seen that every, you know what, in our India, it's like having a blood pressure issues, having sugar issues, it's like so
Mhm.
normal. Oh, you don't have BP, they literally ask you if you don't have BP. Like after 30, 35, it's so normal to have BP. They are
Mhm.
like, they literally ask, oh, you don't have BP, don't have any issues. They ask like it's like a normal thing to have it here.
Wow. Isn't it isn't it crazy that the baseline of what is normal today would be like the really scary results from maybe 100 years ago. But now it's normal because everyone has it. But normal doesn't mean it's healthy. I think that's something that
Yeah,
people kind of, they intertwine these words, but they're definitely not related, because just when other people are, or the mass is working 12 hours straight and it's kind of normal because everyone's doing it, it doesn't mean that it's good for your body. It doesn't mean that it's a healthy
right.
way to live. It's like you say, people are asking you if you don't have an issue as a standard. Wow.
Yeah, like they think if you have a disease, that means you are working hard, you are doing something.
Yeah. Then you kind
That's
of,
why you are having it.
mhm.
But I think that your body is way more aware. I think the more I have attuned with my body, like you know, scientists have this definition that your body needs that amount of sleep. Like if you're adult, you need 8 to 10 hours of sleep. But then you will notice as a woman, we have our own cycle. You will notice that there when your periods are near, you will sleep more. You will almost sleep like 15 to 12 hours because your body demands from you that way, and then it can be different for different person.
Yeah.
So we have asked, you know what, if you want to be in a part of society, you have to follow criteria. Like
Mhm.
if you are sleeping more, if you are sleeping less, then you have insomnia. If you are sleeping more, you have hyper insomnia, and so on. But they have stopped telling you to how to in tune with your body. Maybe because your body is going through a lot during that time, your body need a rest.
Yes.
So it's in the everything we have gone through, like how we are not been touched with our own body, with our own soul. Your soul is so powerful. It's coming from a lifetime. Your body is for this lifetime, but your soul is coming from lifetimes. I don't know many, so much. So it knows what is good for you. It can tell you, but you have to sit with it. But now we are afraid of being alone. We
Yeah.
can't sit alone because we hate our own thoughts.
And we haven't learned to get in tune with ourselves. I feel there's so much fear around being alone, around like looking at your shadows, working through your traumas, like really embracing how your life is so that it can change. That there is this like, I don't look at that. Maybe I entertain myself with Netflix or whatever, with drugs, with food, with whatever addiction you might find. There is so many of them, but what we're like least favoring is connecting to ourselves and saying like, okay, what do I need right now? What is my body craving for? Because like you said, we have this immense wisdom of our soul that has like access to the divine every moment. We're not harnessing it. We're kind of shutting it down because maybe we fear what is coming up. Maybe it's the unknown that we fear, or we feel like looking into the shadows. But therefore, we're creating more of that we fear, instead of like really coming back to our body and saying, like, what do I need? How can I plan my day in a way that is beneficial to my body, to my...
Correct.
Yeah.
So important. No, I think just give 5 to 10 minutes to your own body and you will see the shift in it. Like it just need your attention like for 5 to 7 minutes. That's enough. Start with that. Sit with yourself.
Yeah.
Sit with yourself and you'll see a lot of changes happening in your going to body.
It's interesting that you mentioned this short time span, because me too, I think we don't have to like, dedicate 4 hours in the morning to we can. It's wonderful if we can, but you don't have to see benefits or to like have the ability to reconnect with yourself. You can start with the really small things and whatever it is. But if you are courageous enough to commit to yourself for even the shortest period of time, you would see a lot of shifts, and you see a lot of like alignment back to yourself. So like you mentioned at first, discovering the tarot, discovering Reiki, coming back to yourself through mindset work. There are so many tools that we can use.
True.
And it's not about what tool you use. It's more about like that you start doing something for yourself.
Yeah. I think even just sitting with your own self, it's a tool itself. Just sit with yourself and focus on your breath. That's the best tool you can ever use.
Yes, agreed. Is that like, if you could pick one thing that is like the most beneficial to you, or the one thing that you would never give up, is it like just sitting with yourself and breathing, or what are you feeling drawn to the most?
Me, it's one thing is breathing because it's calmed me down, and then writing it down. Like journaling helps me a lot. I feel journaling has something so powerful that it helps in releasing and manifesting both. Like whenever I want to release something, I can write it down. When I want to manifest something, I know if I've written it, it is going to happen for me. I am going to manifest it. It's so powerful. Just writing down. Like when you have to work on that, there is a lot of back end work you have to do on your healings, on your traumas. Then only the manifestation work out. Otherwise, it will go in negative only.
Yeah.
But now I'm in a stage where I know if I'm writing something, it's going to happen for me.
Isn't that beautiful to like be in a state where you have reminded yourself of your power so much that you now know, like, you write it down, you commit to desiring it, and then it will come. Maybe not at the time that you expect it, maybe yes, but it will come. So the certainty is there, even though the evidence is not there at that moment, but you know it will come. I think it's like really beautiful to have access to that level of confidence and commitment to yourself.
Yeah, I think it actually also detach you from the people who are not in that part, but then it's connected with your soul. It connects you with the God, your highest form. As I said, like for me, Lord Krishna is someone who gave me my life back, who gave me joy, who gave me happiness. So I know I'm connecting to him in such a way that I don't need human anymore. If someone is good for me, they will come in my life. If they are not, God will remove them.
Yes.
And that's the power I walk with.
Yes. Oh, that's so beautiful. And it leads me to, because I've told you last time, I love that you have the Reconnect Academy. And I think it's so beautiful because you mentioned connection a few times, that you've picked this name for the work you do to like really, it's a reminder of how powerful the reconnection to the self is. So I would love you to share a bit more about that so that people, know what you're doing in there.
Yes. So my academy name is the Reconnect Academy. This is about in the life we are living, we have forget to go back to our own self. We are looking for validations out where. but we know that our soul, your body is so amazing that you just need to listen to it. So our academy makes sure that it helps you to connect with your own self, so you can know the what is right for you. Like for some people something can be right, but for others it is different. No, there is no such one formula that will work for everyone. So we have to see what works for us. So our Reconnect Academy has its own way of helping you to go back to your own self, finding your own answers, and the right time will come. And that's how we work with people.
That's really beautiful. And I love that you're honoring with it the uniqueness of everyone, because there is so much like talk about like need to do this one thing and then that's the one, but it's not true for everyone at the same intensity or the same tools. It's different for everyone, and I think that what we need is the connection, but how we do that might be tarot for one person, might be hypnosis for the next one, and it doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong. Like remembering that is so powerful.
And that's true. We can't say that everything, one formula will work for everyone. Like in India, like if some course is going up, like engineering, if engineering is going, it's like everyone will do engineering. But how many will go pass out this, or how many will get the job? It's like only 1 to 10% of it. Others are shifting their then. Yeah. So it's like not everything is not for everyone. You have to see what's worked for you.
Mm-hmm. We are again back to the externalizing, because we have that too. I'm laughing because we had that like, oh, you need to become a teacher. And then everyone became a teacher. And then, oh, we had too many. So again,
okay, it's happened over there as well.
It's kind of this wave, but I think like, why are people becoming a teacher or engineer? Yeah, because someone else said that they're missing, or that's like a path of success, but that's not a motivation of you because you want to be that, because you feel that's your purpose, your calling. It's like, that's needed. I'm trying to mold myself into it. I'm trying to become that because that's needed, but that's not how the universe works. So reconnecting to yourself and seeing like, what am I about? And then you offer that. That's what you can stick with and what you can like be successful in life with, whatever success means to you, because you are you then.
Right, definitely we have to see. Like for some people, they love to work for long hours, but then there are some people who don't want to. Like for me, sitting at some particular place for a lot of hours, it's nothing. I can't sit there. I need to keep moving. I need to change places. So that's okay. We are different humans. We have a different needs as well.
Yes. Honoring the uniqueness of each and every soul. It's like a thing that we should collectively move into, because the power that it holds to be fully yourself, the gift that you can gift others by being yourself, the inspiration that comes from it, that's like, for me, that's why we are here, what we are here to express in lifetime. And so by not doing that, we're kind of not doing our job, if you wish, that we came here for. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing and for your wisdom. And I will link below the Reconnect Academy so that people can learn more about it and get in contact with you, because I love the work and I love the idea that you had. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
All the
Thank
wonderful.
you for inviting me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.